So what's going on, guys? It's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I want to thank you for all the support we've been getting on the recent videos. It means a lot to me and I hope you can continue the support. I'd just like to apologize if I sound slightly dead inside today. I just don't feel very well, so I hope you understand that. Today's video is going to be a video about the best custom tactics and player instructions for the 4-2-3-1 narrow formation, one of the most balanced formations in the game and one of the most annoying to play against. I used to use this formation a lot, but I don't really use it that much anymore unless I'm seeing out games. I mainly stick to the 4-1-2-1-2, but I still have some very effective player instructions and tactics that will help you out if you use this formation. It won't instantly make you a great player, but it can definitely assist you in becoming one. But before we get into that, guys, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any videos like this one. I'd really appreciate it. And with that aside, guys, let's get into the video. So like I said, guys, the 4-2-3-1 narrow is a very balanced formation and I think it's very effective in defense because of the protection you have with the two CDMs. The reason I say it's balanced is because even though you have that defensive addition with the two CDMs, you also have a lot of attacking players, so it balances itself out and it's a very effective formation and it's really hard to predict. It's very good at keeping the ball as well because of the 5 midfielders you have. They're all spread out, but they're spread out, but they're not at the same time, so it's easy to make passes, if you know what I mean. If you're like me and you have wide players in your lineup, I suggest using another formation such as the 4-3-2-1 until you get into game and then switching into the 4-2-3-1, as you will keep the chemistry on your players, because as you can see, Bale and Henry are on 3 chem in this team. Now, you're all here for the player instructions and custom tactics, so I'm going to show you them, but I'd appreciate it if you could listen to my explanations for them so you don't go in doing the wrong things. So, for Griezmann, or whatever your striker is, if you have a fast striker, you're going to want them to get in behind and press the back line. Now, this is because they'll be on the shoulders of defenders, waiting for the through balls so they can run onto them and essentially score easy goals because the defenders won't catch them. And the press back line is to apply pressure on the defenders to force them into mistakes, and sometimes gets you some really nice chances on goal. So that's why I run that on my striker. But if you have, let's say, a big target man striker such as Karim Benzema, I suggest having it on target man. And that is because he'll get into the positions where he can pick up the ball opposed to run onto them, if that makes sense. So he will stand in front of the defender so he can shield the ball, that kind of thing, and wait for support. But like I said, I usually run that on getting behind because I have a quick striker in Griezmann. Even though I don't use him in that position, I use Henry there. Now, for the cams, I don't really like to touch them because I feel like they're balanced the way they are. I feel like that balance is necessary because when you're defending, it helps you pick up the ball easier, and when you're attacking, they're there anyway. So it's they help out with defense, but they're not so defensive that you can't attack. So I just leave them alone because I feel like they do the right things anyway, automatically. Now for your CDMs, guys, I suggest you have both of these on stay back while attacking, and the reason for this is your CDMs are meant to help out in defense opposed to attack. They're not meant to be bombing up the field. So if you have these on stay back while attacking, whenever you lose the ball or something, you have about 6 players back because you've told them to stay back, and they're very, very effective at breaking up the play this way. This way they don't get tired either, they don't run up the pitch and run back, that kind of thing. I find them very effective with stay back while attacking, like I said, because they give that extra protection to your defensive line. And if you got hit on the counter attack, like I said, you're going to have 6 players back and it's going to be very hard for them to break on you. Now for my left back and right back, I've been quite tight on this. I'm not sure what to do, but I feel like the right thing to do is tell them to stay back while attacking. And the reason for this is because when I was using them on balanced attack, they would attack and defend, but they got caught out at the wrong times. So occasionally there would be 3 of their attackers versus my two fullbacks, my centre backs, and I just didn't stand a chance and I conceded a goal. So by telling them to stay back, you've got that extra protection in defence, very hard to break down, and yeah, I feel like it's the best thing to have on your fullbacks. Other than that, I leave them alone. Now onto the custom tactics. I've changed them up a bit for this formation. These aren't the ones I usually rock for the 4-1-2-1-2, but I feel like these tactics are the best for the 4-2-3-1 narrow, and I'm going to explain why. So like I said, this formation is very balanced. It offers you attack and defense and domination of the midfield. So I feel like for your build-up play, you want this on 50-50 because it's very balanced, like I said, and you can kind of speed up or slow down. You can afford to be slow, you can afford to speed it up, you can do what you like, and I feel like it's very effective in this formation because the 4-2-3-1 is not specifically designed for a certain style of play. You can attack, you can defend, you can be slow on the ball, you can be fast. It's really up to you. So by having this on 50, it's more diverse in my opinion, and I like having that extra bit of diversity because it makes you less predictable in game. For positioning, you want this on organised because you don't really want your centre-backs running up to midfield and that kind of thing, because if you had it on freeform, your players don't take their own positions. They'll, alternate and stuff, and that's pretty good in the final third, but you don't want that when you're, breaking up the pitch because it completely ruins your shape. So having this on organised will keep you a nice shape, especially at the back. Now for chance creation, I like to have passing on 60 because I feel like 50 is a bit too slow for this, but 70, like I rock on my other formation, is a bit too much because you want that balance, but you want it to be quick at the same time, and I don't really know. This is the value I found the most success with in this formation. I've tried a lot of them out. I've tried 50, 40, 70, 80. They don't really make a difference, but I feel like I play a bit better with it on 60. You guys might beg to differ, I don't know, but 60 offers you a nice bit of balance, but the speed you want at the same time. Now for crossing, because it's a narrow formation, you're not really having that many wide players, so you're not going to get into many crossing positions. So you don't want this very high because you don't want your players getting into crossing positions ready to cross the ball, because you're not really going to get in. In a narrow formation, your players aren't meant to be spread out and down the wings, so you're not really going to want that to happen in the first place. A narrow formation is very much down the middle football, not very wide. So having this on 40 will reduce the amount of crossing positions they get into and keeping your players nice and compact in the middle. Now for shooting, you want this quite high. I recommend 60 to 70. I have it on 65, just in between, because you want to be creating as many chances as possible, especially in a game mode like Foot Champions, where it's very, very hard to break down your opponents. Having this on a higher value will increase the amount of runs that your players make into shooting positions, making it very easy for you to score. I have found this value to be very effective for me because my players like to make these nice quick movements, alternate around, so I can get the easy goals. So having that on 60 to 70 will help you out massively in my opinion. Like I said, you can change these to your own your own desire, I guess. I didn't have the word there. But yeah, I have that on 65. For positioning, now on this one, I don't use organised, and because in the final third where you're making all your chances, you want to be unpredictable. You want your players to move around and alternate. You want your players to get into decent positions no matter what position they're playing on the pitch. And because you've told your CDMs and fullbacks to stay back, they're not really going to be in the final third anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But what this does is your left cam can switch position with your right cam, your striker can move into cam, your cam can move into striker. It's very hard for your opponents to read, and it makes up for some really nice moves and essentially some really nice goals. So having this on freeform will make it a bit easier for you to attack, and yeah. That's why I have that on freeform. Now for defense, because this is quite a balanced formation, I like to have the pressure on 50 because I don't feel like I want my defensive line pushing too far up the pitch. Leaving it on 50 makes it so they're not in the your own half, like sitting on the edge of the box, but they're also not on the halfway line. It gives you that nice bit of balance where the strikers cannot run in behind, but they also can't shoot from long range because you're just sitting on the edge of the box. So 50 is a nice value for this. Now for the aggression, I like to have this on 50 as well, because any higher and I feel like your players make these stupid auto lunges where they're never going to get the ball and it just plays them out of the game. Like, have you ever had a situation where you're controlling a player and a through ball's played past them and they'll randomly slide and not get the ball, and all of a sudden there's a massive gap in your team? Now, if you have aggression on really high, that'll happen a lot more often. So even though high aggression's good because you can win the ball back a lot of the time, it does make you essentially concede goals because your players will make mistakes. So having this on a lower value will make it so that you have that aggression that you want, but not so much that your players make these stupid tackles that aren't going to work. Now, for team width, have this on 40 because in a narrow formation, you don't want your team to be spread out. Like, you really don't. You might as well use a wide formation if that's the case. You want your players to be compact. You don't want to create gaps in your own team. Like, if I had this value all the way up here, my team would be spread out and it would make so many gaps in my team that it's just easy to play balls through, easy to run through, that kind of thing. So having it on 40 makes your team nice and compact. Now, for the defender line, never have this on offside trap, please. Just promise me you'll never do that. And the reason for that is because if you have it on offside trap, your defenders will automatically run out of their line to try and play your opponent's offside. Now, you might be thinking this is great, but a lot of the time they'll play them onside somehow because they'll run too late or something like that, and they'll just be running forward as the ball has already been played and their striker is in on goal. So have this on cover as it just covers the runs, you know, blocks off passes, that kind of thing. It's a lot more safe in my opinion. But that just about does it for this video, guys. If you have enjoyed or found this video informative, I would appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any videos like this one. If you've made it this far, comment GOAT down in the comment section just so I know you've made it this far. Let me know what video you want to see next. I'm interested to take down your suggestions. And with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a very, very good day, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.